Welcome back to the lot, an early edition for this fall. It's I'm a little bit concerned. I had no idea that it was an earlier show tonight and that we were doing this earlier. And I get like, I'm like in charge of a freaking YouTube channel. I had no idea, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know and are gonna miss this. Did you guys know?
Always watch it later, especially if you smash the subscribe button right down there.
Well, welcome if you did make it. We're happy to have you here. We are joined tonight by the one and only Andy Michaels and our dear friend Danielle Emo. Emo, should we call you Emo tonight?
Yeah. I answer to like everything. I'm used to a lot of names.
I like Danielle.
Yeah.
But I guess we can go with Emo.
So what's cool, and I just realized, and maybe this is only cool for me, it has nothing to do with anybody else watching, but the first two people I met on PHiSH Lot for the first time after the pandemic, in order, were you two. The first person I met after the pandemic driving on a Deer Creek's lot was Danielle. And then I think like a minute, no, it was Andy.
It was Andy.
Yeah, it was Andy first. And then like 10 minutes later, we met Danielle and then what, Julie?
Yep.
And Julie was with me. Yeah, we were wandering through the lot trying to find you.
And here we are back on the lot.
Can we go back to Deer Creek? Can we just can we go?
This is great. It was even more fun in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess the last show was the forum night. Typically what we've been doing on these lots now that we actually have real fish to talk about is looking back the night before. Unless you guys had anything else you want to talk about, I figure we jump right into the set list.
Yes.
All right. Andy, I hear you love this set opener, this show opener, Wave of Hope.
I'm not a fan of a Wave of Hope. not much of a Wave of Hope kind of guy, you know. And speaking of Deer Creek, we were at the PHiSH debut of a Wave of Hope, and I hated it then, and I hated it.
But I don't. At least they opened the show. At least they opened with it, so Trey got to do it because he's proud of it. He's like, "Look at my new toy. Everybody should love it." And then they move on with the show. They kind of hit into, you know.
So, like, opposite of tonight, the forum show actually started really late, right? Like, I think there was a Rams game, and they share a lot.
Yeah.
Traffic really bad, and it's, you know, it was an undersold show to begin with. So, for those of us that typically go in on time, there were people there that were waiting for like a long fucking time in the venue before they came out.
Like our man in Inglewood too.
You're waiting, and they come out with the Wave of Hope, and you're like, oh fuck, really?
Yeah, but if you miss just that, then you didn't miss much. It's okay.
Maybe that's why they did it. People were still in line. They're like, all right, let's knock one out while everyone gets it.
A little buffer song.
Right, there you go. Thank you.
Well, it goes back to our theory from the summer where they play the shit. No, that was the opposite in the summer. They played the great song in the first spot for YouTube, right?
Right.
Yes.
No. They played the shit song and then they go into the jam a lot of times of the second song, which is what they did tonight at the forum.
I didn't even think about that. Imagine, I mean, it happens all the time. Yeah, you're so excited. You get that free first song on YouTube, and it's a Wave of Hope. I would have been,
you know, but then they tease.
And then you get that 10 seconds of Yem. Yeah.
And you're like, fuck it, there goes my $25.
Yep.
And you go fucking buy the show.
Fucking Brad, man.
He's genius.
And somebody on the last
we should hit him up and ask him how he, you know, like, do you have any advice for
somebody on the last show? Somebody on the last show said Yem was in the 2 spot, I think.
Yeah. Oh, was that you? Kev, if I didn't take that bait, how often or how many times tonight would you have brought that up? We'd be talking about Mr. Completely, and you'd be like, hey, how about the 2 spot?
Yeah, this whole show is just gonna be us just fucking with Kevin. This is gonna be great. Yeah, this is fantastic.
All right, we got a new game actually.
You invited me, Kevin. Remember?
Whose couch was it? Because we all have couches in the background.
It was not my couch.
It was definitely my couch.
Or actually, I thought she meant Kevin. for a second. I legitimately thought she meant Kevin. I'm like, oh no, that can't be right.
No.
No.
Wave of Hope has the Waddy seal of approval. So
Waddy.
Waddy.
Lodi.
That's how we say it down in Baltimore.
All right, so Yem going into the Moma Dance.
Yes.
Mama Dance.
You're just gonna gloss over the yum, huh? I mean, you could, because it was the novelty is that it's where it's placed, not that it was a groundbreaking.
Yeah, it was a pretty standard Yem, I thought.
I thought I heard Final Hurrah in the vocal outro. In the vocal jam, I thought I heard some Final Hurrah sounding stuff.
I saw people fluffing it last night or that night. I'm getting all mixed up on my days of the forum, but and then I would think, like, every time they play Yem, people are fluffing up like, oh, this is so good, because it is really good, and you forget how good it is unless you listen to it back to back. But yeah, it seemed fairly standard.
Emo, what'd you think of Yem?
I thought it was good. I remember thinking about the placement of it and that it was like an interesting choice, but like everything on this tour is an interesting choice. So, but no, I mean, always glad to hear it. So,
being a noob, if you will, when did you
just any noob?
When did you first hear Yem? And I mean, it's a lot to take in for the first time.
I'm not great at remembering like the first
None
time
of us are.
you hear things. Yeah. But it was probably like around 3 years ago. I always laugh because like Bobby's the one who introduced me to PHiSH. So like obviously he sent me all the things that like he likes and he like his favorite things. But it's interesting like then afterwards to sort of expand out and there's so many other things and you're like, oh, why would you not show me this? Like the first time we like sat up one night, like months and months later, and he like explained the whole Gamehenge story to me. Yeah. And I was like, this isn't what you led with.
You did it right.
And like knowing my personality, I was like, I feel like that was kind of a fail.
He buried the headline, huh?
Yeah, I was like, wait a second. So it
had to be a great moment for him though when you like picked up on the game engine, were like digging it. He had to been like, "Fuck yeah, let's go!" Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Because he'd been trying up to that point, and it was like lukewarm. And then you bring out the big guns with some Gamehenge characters, and there you go.
Yeah, and I think it was. It was definitely July '94. Is that when they did like a Gamehenge show? Like
the West Virginia one, or one of them. Yeah, there was a West Virginia and another one that year, I think.
Yeah, so it was like a deep dive.
Nice.
Didn't they do one of those for a dinner and a movie?
Yeah.
I think one of them was one of those shows. The one in Massachusetts or Connecticut or wherever. The one they did.
You're getting off topic. Go ahead.
Our ability to nail stats and dates on this show is just remarkable. You're nowhere else in the PHiSH content world will you find this level of accuracy.
It was Great Woods they were at.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was okay, you're right.
And that's in Massachusetts or Connecticut, one of them cities. So we go into the Moma Dance.
Yeah.
And everybody loves a Moma Dance, but everybody really wants a Black-Eyed Katy.
One day.
Moma Dance didn't have the mustard it did the last time.
It was unfinished.
Right.
Into Simple, which, I mean, that's one of my absolute favorite songs. I just didn't really like the placement of Simple here at this show.
And if you blinked, you would have missed it.
Right. That was a problem.
I don't have any takes, by the way. I'm just hanging out with you guys. I feel like I should have given that disclaimer.
But
yeah, we're like trying to lead you in here.
when it got interesting, though, was instead of a simple jam, they decided to graft on top of it one of your favorite songs, Andy, right?
No.
Who said they liked it earlier?
No, actually, no, I do love Waiting All Night. You're right. And that was a beautiful Waiting All Night. When was the last time they played that? I think it was 2019, right? It wasn't that long ago, but it felt like it was a while ago.
That fall tour in 2019.
Nope.
Yep.
You're wrong.
No.
It's BB&T.
29th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We were at that show.
I was yes, we were at that show, and I
not together. We would just happen to be. This was before we knew each other. We just were both at the same show.
Aw.
It's crazy.
Very nice.
That is crazy.
All right, then they went into Maze. Everybody loves Maze, right?
Yes.
I so wanted a Bowie. I love Maze. I do, but they've played 2 mazes. They haven't played a Bowie yet.
That's true.
Okay. I'm okay with that, though. I love Maze. I would prefer Maze. What about you, Emo?
Maze.
Yeah. Kevin, you don't know what the
Dark.
fuck you're talking about.
It's dark. I love Maze. The end of Bowie is one of my top 3 favorite Fish things.
I agree, but Kev, that's not the same as it was in 1.0 anymore. That's the thing. They don't execute that and bring the fire that he used to. So, like, people that got to see a bunch of shows in the 90s fucking would take Bowie any day. But lately, and by lately, I mean the last 20 years, like, it just hasn't been the same.
Has Kevin ever talked
Still
about how he's seen
holding
Fish? Has Kevin ever mentioned that he's seen Fish in the 90s? Is that something that he's ever brought
In
up?
the 90s, there's 3 full decades between Kev's first show and Emo's first show. Not even like it was 3 decades apart. There was a full 3 decades in between.
Right.
When was your first show, Kev?
In December of '89.
All right.
That's amazing.
I was born in February of '89.
I was like, I
Wow.
was 3.
Cool. So now I was 18 and had a fake ID. Got in with the fake.
Must have been a
ID.
nice. They didn't play a Wave of Hope at that show, did they?
No, they opened up with I didn't know, and then played You Enjoy Myself in the 2 spot.
Ah, well, there you go.
They love me.
Awesome.
All right.
How did this You Enjoy Myself compare to the Nashville You Enjoy Myself?
The Nashville You Enjoy Myself, it's kind of a blur.
Oh, is it?
I do want to say that I think I am really impressed with how well they were playing it. I think that 4.0 is just fantastic right now, if 4.0 exists. And
we're past that, right? We've established this exists. This
yeah,
is
but
thing.
It's completely like everything is flipped upside down.
They're really good.
Oh
we
yeah,
see
no,
that, we see that
killing
every
it.
fucking time. And that's what's great. All right, let's continue on.
Okay,
We waited all night, and then we.
and then the guy who gets paid to bring the megaphone from show to show and put it on stage finally had his moment, and he went over to his wife and be like, look on the webcam, and then the wife was sleeping because
And he got
It's late.
I hear he gets a bonus too when they play Fee because it's actually been used.
and it was used, and that's awesome. I feel is it out there every night?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I thought it was always there.
I think it is. Is that just yeah?
If Fee's on the list of the 80 songs or whatever. Hey Harley.
Is Paige's theremin always there?
I believe so.
No,
He doesn't touch that at all, does it?
I feel like the theremin's more delicate of an instrument too. Like I wouldn't want to be slugging that around and bringing it out if like you don't need it.
Got a theremin tech,
Right? Like because if that, like, yeah, if like God forbid one of the other instruments break, I feel like it's like I don't know. When was the last time they made a theremin? Do they make theremins?
Yeah, you can buy one on eBay. There's a guy who sells them on eBay. I looked over quarantine. I was going to buy one. Because I figured that would be an instrument I could play.
That's why I didn't have any takes.
I want to get one and set it up. Like here, this is where I'm going to switch cameras. See, you like that?
Nice.
There you go. Yeah, I'm going to set it up in here somewhere and hook it up so then I can. All right, let me go back to this camera.
Kev, why does the radio guy have better video tech than us? We've been doing this shit for fucking like 2 years now, and this guy just
I'm the guy that really doesn't want to be seen either. That's.
I need to.
It is ironic.
Where I can stick a camera.
I know where you can stick another camera, Kev. Yeah, walked right into that one, buddy. All right, where were we? Sophie,
megaphone,
Sophie.
dope.
Sophie,
Sophie. Who are you calling Sophie?
What was next, Andy?
Steam.
Oh, yeah, that was weird because I thought there was going to be a set ender, and Steam is never a set ender.
Yeah. But Antelope is.
But Antelope is.
And that was a pretty damn good Antelope.
It continues its reign as the most common set closer.
Yeah, and a great one at that.
Is that a confirmed fact?
Yes, it's been the song that closed the first set most and the second set most.
Oh, wow. That's a good thing to remember for PHiSH trivia.
Yes, that is. I love Antelope so much. That one was standard. They didn't like play around with Rai Rai Rocco or anything, but
I feel like Antelope might have a good chance of being in the final conversation of the PHiSH bracket this year. Like, I feel like that's one of those songs that just coasts and like everybody loves, but nobody ever brings up as their favorite song, except for Tom Marshall.
right.
But it's really, when you think about it, a phenomenal song, I think.
No, I'm just now looking at the comments here. Makita, it's a good song. And
Oh yeah, it's weird being on the show and not in the chat, right?
all right.
The chat's like
Andy-
way more entertaining to hang out
Andy, do corn, drop. Oh god. Yeah.
There you go. First two fees in 1 year since 2013. That's interesting.
Is
A
that
lot
really?
of fee.
That's a lot of fee.
That's a lot of fee. And then after Antelope, they did the set break thing.
You mean set break?
Yes. Which I gave set break 7 out of 10.
Oh, good.
Okay.
It seemed like a good set break from watching when Stay Tuned.
Emo,
Well-
what'd you think of set break?
I think that's when I went to sleep and I was like, I'm gonna watch this set 2. The West Coast shows, it's too late. It's too late. For
Yeah.
me. And I like fight it. I think this time I actually like brought my laptop into my room and I never bring like my computer
Right,
into
yeah.
my bed. And I was like, I'm just gonna leave it open. And then if I fall asleep, I fall asleep. And if I stay up, I stay up. And
5 seconds later.
before set break was
Out.
over,
Right.
I was out. And like that says something because like I don't sleep well. But I was just like done. I also ate a lot of edibles during the show. So that
Now
definitely
more than ever, we need to abolish time zones, and this is why.
yes.
Bring. All right. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
No, I think
So I don't know.
I
Great
think
set
that's all I
break.
have for set break. I do have a question for first song of set 2 because that was my guess in the Wook Plus contest last week, and I'm wondering if that means that.
You won.
Oh yeah, we gave it to our awards committee,
Yeah.
so I think you won.
He's on tour
Unfortunately,
right
our
now.
awards committee is
Right.
useless at the
He's on
moment.
tour right now. Yeah. So.
Yeah, he usually splits editing duty with me, and he's been on tour being, hippie tea, which I'm really happy for him because I did that to him this summer. But now I'm like, damn it, T, get back. We have a lot of work to do.
I want to meet.
He was supposed to call it tonight, I think.
I want to meet him.
Yeah, he's fun.
Yeah.
He's wild. All right. I lost the set list. So
Cars, Trucks, and
what was
Buses.
after Cars, Trucks, Buses?
Mm-hmm.
That's another Is What It Is song. I wish that they would weave that into like a jam. Ghost.
No,
Jam.
I
You
don't.
end up into Cars, Trucks, and Buses and then go back into Ghost.
I mean, that would be cool for the novelty of it, but that's like Buried Alive to me, or like Landlady. It's like it's just a perfect way to start a set or a show, and I don't need them to do anything to it except execute it well.
Right.
Right, which is we're switching point of views, Kev. Like the other night, you were all it has to be original into the studio, and I loved when they fucked with things, but they didn't this time. So this one was one of those standard ones.
Yeah.
So what did they go into after that?
The big boy.
Oh,
Tweezer.
Tweezer.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Which was so short.
Yeah, that again, like simple. It was he really. Well, first he couldn't wait to get into LA Woman. There, he had to.
Right.
We had to do that, and it's interesting. I didn't realize how so many people don't like The Doors.
That was a huge conversation this week.
Yeah, the Doors were
And
great when I was.
I've been a little occupied this week.
So, what are your guys' take on?
I
Jim
love the
Morrison
Doors.
or in the Doors?
The Doors were great, revolutionary when I was 13, and then I discovered Iggy Pop and other things and moved on.
Which is funny because I was 13 many, many decades after you, and I thought the same thing. Like when I was like 12 or 13, I was like, I had the American Poet poster.
Right.
You know, when you're like a preteen, you're like, oh, this is so cool. And then like, I don't know, a few years later, I discovered like what I actually like. I feel like it's like the first partner right before the serious one. That's what the Doors was. It's just like a gateway band.
Fling. It's a spring fling.
Unfortunately, I've also been the spring fling.
You've been the Doors for somebody's relationship.
I've been the Doors before the PHiSH.
I don't know, but I fucking love that premise.
I did get to see the Doors tour where they had the guy from the Vault sing.
Of course you did.
Years later.
You always, of course you did.
Which was interesting.
You have a good time?
I had a great time. It was at the 930 Club, and you were hearing the 2/3 of the Doors. Can't go wrong with that.
Okay.
I saw Robbie Krieger
door.
once. I saw Robbie Krieger band once too, and he played Roadhouse Blues and one other Doors song, but it was all his solo stuff or old blues tunes, which was interesting.
Harley's right there with me, which I appreciate. It gives me that confidence I need to keep going because after a while, I'm like, I don't know if that was a good take, but thank you, Harley.
Then we go back into Tweezer.
Yeah, and I wonder if, well, no, we had a Santos in between, but we could kind of skip like 3 songs that were pretty fucking awesome to go to that point. I think the 5-minute Tweezer is why. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's the chicken or the egg, but I feel like they come out and they go into get distracted with like an LA Woman jam. And then they get in their head like, oh, we got to go back and do that jam justice. And that's how you end up with like the Bomb Factory or the Merriweather or like these. What do you call that? It's not a sandwich or a mashup. It's like just a rolling jam, I guess.
I've always said sandwich, but.
Yeah, but this one, well, I mean,
more like a club than a sandwich.
It's
a hoagie.
It's a hoagie.
I guess this one is a sandwich. It's like technically, it just felt like it was more spaced out because they put so much.
But didn't Zizek say he wanted to make? Didn't I saw a tweet that Zizek was made sure he put in all the Tweezer every time they did the Tweezer theme. He put it in the set list because he was on duty that night.
Oh, so that's why I felt like that. Yeah.
So,
are we glossing over what's the use?
No. Well, Kev was, but I wanted to bring it back.
Okay.
I mean, well, let's gloss over the Santos. No, the Santos was really good, right?
Strange that we were all saying, "Oh, that's the new character Zero set closer." So Trey's like, "Fuck it, I'm throwing it in the middle of the set."
And it's funny too because all tour they've been coming in with these like 18-minute, 19-minute, 17-minute, 22-minute jams to start off the front of the second set. And here we have a 6-minute, a 5-minute, an 8-minute, and then this is the first one. But I think that's because it was all meshed together, right? The way they do it with the rolling set. It's a lot more variety than just going out in space. Like it's constantly giving you something new to bite into, I guess. What's the use?
Love it.
Who doesn't love it?
Yeah, I'd do that any day of the week.
My favorite, it's interesting. One of my favorites is pretty recent. I think it was like Dick's 18 maybe. And Page in that is just phenomenal. Like he shakes your house, Fucking love it.
I love how much respect and attention he demands from the crowd with that song, because there's other spots where it's appropriate to be silent and you just have chompers around you and people wooing and all that other shit. But the when it quiets down and what's the use, I feel like there's just a spell put out over the crowd and everybody's like entranced and like, if you better not fucking talk. But nobody has to say that because Trey's commanding it, and Paige and the band. And then,
but then
give you those beefy floor toms, boom.
sometimes you do get that one asshole though that does scream during it, and it gets on the recording, and it
just ruins it.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Beaming in. Oh no!
I guess the service isn't as good as last night. We'll have to
the
give
forum has the best cell service apparently of any venue in the world because he looked better than us on his phone live from the floor of the forum.
He actually just had a green screen behind him, and we got somebody to film footage.
He was home, right?
How do I know?
Hysterical.
He keeps coming back stage like just long enough for me to want to bring him back on, and then he freezes again. I'm like, I don't know how many times I want to tease him in. No, still not there. All right, I lost the set list. So
what's the use? And I think it went back into Tweezer, didn't it?
Yeah.
A little more Tweezer for you, and it was another short little bit. I think.
Yeah, and then into Birds of a Feather, and that was.
Ooh, I love Birds of a Feather.
Me too. It's just it could have been longer. I don't know. I would rather a longer Birds of a Feather, because then they went into Chalk Dust right after Birds.
Right.
And it's like, how about just a longer Birds instead?
Now they finished Birds of a Feather, but they didn't finish Chalk Dust, right?
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. I love Chalk Dust. That was
you thought, hey, Chalk Dust, that's the end of the set, but
yo, there you go. What's up, T?
Nice.
Look at that view.
Wow. Is that Alex behind you? Is that Alex Crosby right there? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he doesn't like us, Andy.
Well, he has to like me.
Well, he has to like you.
All right.
What's up, T? We desperately need some. We need some of your takes from the forum and what you made out of that show.
All right. See ya.
He's like, fuck this. I'm not working. I'm at a fish show.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks for stopping in. So
it's fine when it's a caller, but the fact that we did like multiple shows this summer where that was the base of the entire show, we just us doing this, cutting in and out. Oh, high quality.
So they don't finish Chalk Dust Torture. They drop it into
Boogie on Reggae Woman.
Which I don't think they expected that.
Who? Yeah. The audience?
It seemed like it had like a car turning over, and it didn't start. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, this is what we're doing."
There was a lot of unfinished business that show. Carini, it was great, but did it feel special? Did that Carini feel special?
Well, not compared to the last one or the what was
the Dix one and the
Dix one and the Deer Creek one,
right? And the one the other one this tour for the encore.
Yeah, that was the first one I was talking about. I can't remember where it was though, but that one was way better. And to Mr. Completely, which I think is always a good time. And was that on here?
Completely.
What's that?
Incomplete Mr. Completely. I think that was unfinished.
Right. Now, has Mr. Completely ever not opened a set? It seemed like I don't ever remember it not being the second set opener or the second song in kind of thing.
It's the inverse set again.
Right.
He keeps doing it.
It's so many songs. How do you end up doing Mr. Completely at this point when you've played Tweezer, you've played Chalk Dust, you know? You look at that set list, you're like, that should be a 3-hour set.
Mm-hmm. When I woke up in the morning and looked at it, I was like, wait a second.
A massive 2.0 LA woman.
We should get to
there's got to be a mistake.
And then we finish out the second set with the reprise. And you know what I kept thinking about was T was saying how the last time they were in the forum, they did Tweezer without reprise, and he was predicting that they play reprise to balance the count, but instead they played Tweezer like 17 times. So now the count's really fucked up. Right. But they did get the reprise at the very end, so it kind of.
Right, Mr. Completely ended up in the Carini, and the Carini closed the set.
No, Carini ended up in the Mr. Completely, and then Mr. Completely finished off with the reprise.
Oh, right. Oh, right. It's all coming back to me.
and then the encore, Kevin. Grind.
Oh, right.
Right.
Then
A big song. They did something.
that's right. It's if we didn't have enough big songs that night.
Clearly lacking big songs.
But I don't remember what it was. Come on, the suspense is killing me.
Bathtub gin.
Oh, gin, right.
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 You know,
Bathtub gin.
we didn't talk about LA woman teases and everything.
Oh, talk about the LA woman teases. Yes.
Oh no.
Did we get an NICU tease?
No, because they were at the forum this time.
Yeah, but I think at the end of
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. I think they're okay. All right.
At the end of one of the songs, I think they did a
Yeah, you're right.
I
I'm just
could have
being a dick. Yeah.
I could be making that up. Paula asked about Halloween. Do you guys have any predictions?
Ping.
What would they be?
Let's go around the horn because you guys know how much I love that. Andy, what's your prediction for Halloween?
Metal. Pink Floyd. Man.
That would be cool.
It's
what about you, Danielle? Do you have a prediction?
Phenomenal.
You got to give the context, Andy, that it's the 50th anniversary.
Right, it's 50th anniversary. Fearless. PHiSH should have been playing Fearless their entire career to begin with. It's perfect for them.
And what we get everybody to do the soccer cheer?
Yeah,
in the audience.
Right. Yeah. Well, that would be so cool. And then obviously Echoes would be amazing. So, but it's only like a 45-minute album. That's the thing, They all, would Echoes be 40 minutes long or something, or I don't know. Right. But anyway, I also was predicting the Mole Show by the Residents. So that's definitely not going to happen.
Because you aren't going to be there with your eyeball.
Exactly.
I feel like that would be your prediction most years until they do it, though.
Yeah. So I was thinking last year. There was one year where a lot of people were thinking that. I remember.
Kazat Vakir?
Yeah.
Because of what PHiSH had said beforehand. Yeah. And I was all like, oh my God. I was like, oh, it's going to be it. No. Men at Work would be sweet. Yeah.
Muppet movie.
What you got, Danielle?
So I keep going back and forth because I don't know if it's going to be like a cover of a single album or just something completely different because everything else right now is completely different. So I would love like the best of like people who have done Vegas tours, like Vegas. What do you call them?
It's Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, kind of.
No, well, maybe like I was gonna say maybe like 50 years sooner, right?
Britney
or like
Spears.
I was thinking
Tracy
like,
can hit me, baby,
like,
one more time.
Yeah. Oh, I want.
Celine Dion has been out there for a while. Who's that other guy that always sits on the grandmas that like shakes his hips and like hits on the
Kevin?
older?
No. Tony Bennett.
No, yeah, Tony Bennett.
Oh, right, him. Okay.
I was gonna go with they're not going to cover an album. They're gonna come up with something. But if they did cover an album, I would love to see them do the soundtrack to Train Spotting. Because it has like New Order on it, but it also has Iggy Pop and David Bowie and
oh yeah.
What if they just did like a regular set but actually wore costumes?
That's kind of like thrilling, chilling though. But I think they are going to stick with the. I think they are going to stick with an album.
What about like the Willy Wonka Johnny Depp version? That all the songs from
they're not going to New Year's Halloween. They're not.
Primus already did Willy Wonka, man.
And I feel like they keep MSG as like the Broadway shit, right? Like the real theatrical. Like I feel like Halloween is going to be more trolly. Right, like it's not like Trey getting his Broadway wet dream. It's like the whole band doing what they do with the music with their set and having fun. But I feel like
had more time than usual to plan this troll, so I feel like it could be. That's why I feel like it's going to be something really out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I'm sure they've also been listening to a lot of different music too. They had a lot more time to get into things and dive deeper. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was like some new indie band that like we haven't even heard of, or you guys have heard of because you're more like in tune and hip than I am, but like something I would have never heard of.
What about Pavement's Crooked Rain? Because they've already done the Gold Sound song one time, and Trey loves that band.
That would be sweet.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Do you want to know before they play on this? Are you one of the people that look up the fish bill when the first person gets into the venue and they know what it is?
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where you don't have much of a choice.
Well, yeah, now it is.
Well, wait a minute. We went around the horn and stopped without Wook giving us a prediction.
Oh, yeah.
No, my prediction was some indie band that you guys all know about that I've never heard of.
The World Drugs.
I remember, I don't like finding shit out ahead of time because I remember for New Year's one year when it was Petrichor, somebody tweeted a picture of a raindrop and it ended up being like a blue rubber raindrop that they fell down and gave out as gags to the rail riders or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was just fucked up enough before the show when I saw it that I could have sworn it was a purple raindrop. And I was convinced that it was going to be purple rain. Yeah. Not only was I like, oh, that's a good theory. Like, I was like, it is confirmed.
Telling people.
Yeah. No, I'm like, oh, I got insider information. It's purple rain. Even into the show.
I remember seeing that. You might have been why I saw that on Twitter a few times.
Because I probably tweeted like, get ready for purple rain, yo.
I do remember seeing people post those teardrops too.
Yeah.
I want one of those.
but then can you imagine my disappointment when I'm expecting purple rain and they come out Petrichor?
I always look up like the movies. If I'm watching a movie, I go on Wikipedia and see how it ends before I even watch the whole thing. So,
wow, Kev, that's terrible.
I have to do it to pay attention, or I can't pay attention. If I know where it's going, then I'm like, okay, now I can.
Yeah, I get that. I get that because then you can actually focus on like what the other stuff. Right. You know the storyline. You know what's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get you, man.
I'm glad somebody does.
You and me. You and me. Great. I got a great future ahead of me.
You're going places.
You have to watch like documentaries on like famous historical events because then you already know how they ended.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't know. I was taken back by the way Titanic concluded. I was all into it. Kate Winslet. I was like, this movie's going places. I can't wait to see the sequel. We can see how their kids end up, and then it fucking crashes against an iceberg. What the hell?
And then she couldn't have made room
on the door.
Right? She couldn't have made room for his ass.
What? Dude, she was like one night stand.
Hi.
Fuck you, Jack. Welcome to Wook Plus for your Titanic recap.
Your spicy 1996 movie recaps.
Did any of you see? It was on SNL maybe last year. The guy went on there as the iceberg. It was the funniest fucking thing. Look that up.
I'll have to check that out.
Hysterical.
So I want to get some housekeeping out of the way. I've been doing it every lot this week, but it's probably for 2 weeks. But it's because I'm really excited. Like we have these shows, and some of them I don't get as excited about, but it's it's fun, so fuck it. But tomorrow's live is, I think, really good. It's the cream of the crop. Like we decided that we got lazy and had been mailing it in for too long. We were kind of resting on our laurels, so we decided to do something special. And I think tomorrow's episode is really
groundbreaking. Groundbreaking is the only word.
We got to really, really inflate the shit out of this and get the expectations super high. That's not going to backfire on us.
I've been trying.
That's not going to backfire on us at all. But yeah, tune in tomorrow. It's going to be fun. What else? Like and subscribe, and
we're going to do the last 4 lots over Halloween. Hopefully we'll get a live shot of me and T from Halloween, because I'll be going out there with him.
Who are you going to dress up as?
I think I'm going to dress up from the guy as Hogan's Slogans.
The guy from Hogan's Slogans.
Yeah.
Wait, but can it be the ancestor for the Irish for the St. Patrick's Day?
Oh man, the sweater's hot. Maybe I'll bring out the disco shirt with the dice on it and the cards on the back. That might work.
I was like,
my other option is Bob Weir. Put a cowboy hat on and I look like Bob Weir. I just need to blow out my beard.
Damn, Andy. Way to be subtle. You're like drop a dozen, like.
Oh,
Kevin knows I love him.
There he is.
What's up, T?
Hey,
Hey.
what's up? Hey, well, back down in the pit. How's everybody?
Are you in the venue? Oh, look at that.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey, Bri.
Oh, sorry. They're taking pictures. Hang on a second.
Oh, all right.
Nice.
Awesome.
We don't want to interrupt
Oh, wait a
anything.
second. Right, exactly. It's going right there.
So what's it like in the venue? That's a tiny venue.
It's gorgeous. Here, I'll show you behind me.
Oh, wow.
Like the stands and everything.
Wow.
I actually just ran into Skoy down in the.
He got in.
Oh, so hey, say hi, Brian. We're on this one.
Hi.
What's
Hi.
up, Bri?
What's up, guys?
Well,
Nothing. How was the forum
It's,
show?
can we see your feet?
You got a thing about feet there, Andy?
There we go.
Yeah, it holds up.
No shoes ever, baby. No shoes ever. They're all.
He's always asking about my hair. I can ask you about his feet. Fuck.
That's right. That's right. Very true. My feet don't look nearly as good as your hair, though. So.
So, T, do you want to? What was your biggest take from the forum? We kind of went over that tonight. Megs.
Oh, there's Matt.
Hi. We're gonna rain tonight.
Nice.
They're perky and ready for fishman. Let me tell you. Right there. She's got it set up.
I'm going for it, kids.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Oh.
Got any hot takes from the forum?
Yeah.
Or not?
I
No,
don't know.
from the.
You know, I'll say this. Like that was probably, other than riding the rail at that one forum show that I went to, which probably wasn't the greatest forum show in the world, but since I'm on the rail, it's gonna blow your mind anyway. That was probably my favorite forum show that I've seen, just because it was fun. You know, like I know it was sloppy, and listening back to it was sloppy, but I also like sloppy fish. I was talking about that. Like I don't like it when they're super technically awesome and on and everything's perfect. Okay, I got it. Yeah, this is just random. Okay. Go check that. Yeah.
Are you getting kicked off the rail?
No, my buddy's going to take a piss, and I just got to guard all
Oh.
shit from there. But like, I like it when it's sloppy, and I like it when it's fun. And you know, like that LA woman, Trey was so excited to play it. Like that's why I think he just like wanted to do it. He's like, and he's like, oh shit, I fucking completely butchered this thing, but fuck it, it's fun, and let's go. And that's the ride I like being on. Like San Diego was incredible. The set list was incredible. The performance was like they played tight, but I don't know. The forum was so fun. It was my backyard show. I love being there. That Yem was phenomenal. Like the Yem, they nailed. That first set was a blast, and then that Tweezer, when that Tweezer dropped, man, it was like, finally, here it is, and you're like, fuck. And then that LA woman was what it is, and the whole Tweezer night, you know, the whole Tweezer fest was.
They waited
It
a
was
long
fun.
time to bring Tweezer back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we know why, man. He was saving it for the LA Woman Jam. Like,
Yeah.
he had that whole planned up. And
So do we get another
that
tweezer in Vegas?
You know, that's what I'm wondering. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if they
Yeah.
did, because now that it's out of the bag, why not? You can do it, you know. So, and I can't imagine they wouldn't, you know, and just give you like a straight tweezer. Because even that one, we got the reprise before the encore. which
Yes, that
fun,
was
too.
great.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, so. You know, it could be. I'm sure they could bring it back. I think Vegas. Once you get to Vegas, it's 4 nights. I think anything's back on the table.
Clear the board.
Except for what they play tonight. But I think everything from 4 on.
Yeah, cool. Well, even what was played tonight could be played 4 shows from now. You know.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. And I think tonight it'll be interesting to see what they do tonight, because I could see this. I mean, the venue. I don't know. We'll see what the vibe is, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get
think
Say It
it's-
to Me Santos tonight. You'll get that.
They played that at the
Well,
forum.
they got the.
Yeah, I
forum.
know.
Yeah, they wouldn't have.
Yeah, I know.
It's coming back.
Right.
If anything, you're getting a 0 tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they get a 0.
Very
And
possible.
you know what they haven't done yet this for a long time, or even this tour? Prince Caspian.
Oh, that's a good call. too,
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of,
That's a
yeah.
really good call. I just met some fans up top from Hawaii, which was awesome. Like totally talking us up and like, we love you guys. But he called the Lizards, and I said, oh, that's a good call.
That's a
too. I can
long
see
drive
that.
from Hawaii.
Right? Like submarine, sailboat.
Yeah.
It took me here. But yeah, and then fucking Pollock being here was a total surprise. I did not know he was here. So got a couple of postcards signed and talked to him for a bit. And big fan of Wook Plus, apparently.
Nice.
Invite him on the show.
Yeah, well, I gave him all the info, and I was like, we'll talk. And he's like, this is a great idea. He's like, you guys should turn it into like a news network type thing. I'm like, I was like, hey, let's talk. So that was fun.
Very cool.
That was fun.
I love how Famer takes off for the night and then jumps in the chat. Sorry, T. What was that?
Let's break it up.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're good. I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear you.
It's all good.
All right, Jay.
There you go.
Bye.
All right,
guys,
Jay. I think we're going to
wrap all over the place. Good seeing you guys.
All right, we'll see you soon. I'll see you in Vegas.
See you guys.
have a good show.
All right, so we've been doing the dumb shit. What's your opener tonight, guys?
Sample.
Okay. Would you say sample?
Yeah. I've said sample every time Kev asked me this question. Because we get quality content here.
I'm going with Jabu tonight.
Ooh. Emo.
Yeah, I really want a punch you in the eye opener. I keep asking about it. I keep asking for it, and I feel like they're gonna throw it in a.
Tonight would be the night. Tonight would be the night.
I know.
That would be a great call. Or yeah.
So
Chris is with you too.
So mine was the landlady.
Oh.
So, but if it's punch, do I still win?
Sure, we'll give that.
Well,
to
you would if Emo didn't guess that.
First,
she actually gets the win.
We can be co-guessers.
You can't price his writer with that.
Okay, all right. And I guess she can keep it. I guess she can win.
Landlady's good. I would. Buried Alive hasn't appeared yet. It only ever appears maybe once a tour, but that's got to be on Halloween.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the movie.
You know what they haven't played in a while, and I really miss it, is Gaiuti.
Oh yeah, that's an ugly pig. That's a Halloween song though, isn't it? A pig with a knife.
When's the last time they played Gaiuti?
Gaiuti hasn't been played since they murdered it in South Carolina, right?
Oh, don't bring that up. I haven't been able to listen to Gaiuti since then.
They made barbecue out of that motherfucker that night.
They were like some of that Charleston barbecue with the extra dry rub right into your cuts. The extra spicy rub. They were like, we're going to fuck this pig up.
Rub it in your eye.
You're not even going to be able to eat bacon after you hear this Gaiuti.
But it did get pretty dark, if I recall, didn't
In
it?
Charleston?
Yeah.
Yeah, dark, like, oh, what the fuck happened to my favorite band?
Like charred. Like, yeah, all right.
That was legitimately the worst PHiSH I've ever heard in Charleston night 3.
Wow.
And that was otherwise a pretty good tour in my opinion, but that was that mini winter tour, right? Like before New Year's.
Yeah, the no repeat tour. They didn't.
Yeah,
repeat. It was cool.
I mean, when it's that small, I don't think that's an accomplishment. I think that's just statistics. I mean,
yeah, I guess they repeated stuff on the island tour back in '98, and it was only
their catalog was like a third of what it is now.
No Baker's dozen. All right.
There's no Baker's dozen.
No Baker's dozen.
Do you think we should rap, or should we just awkwardly draw this out for a few more minutes?
I don't know. I've gotten several cabins.
I'm right on the fence. I'm like 50-50 on how to handle this right now.
Let's take a look here at some of the comments. We got all Gaiutis are the same.
Kevin's
This
name.
Wook wants a Beach Boy cover.
Oh yeah, Kevin.
Mhm.
Lots of that.
I guess that means the baby's down, which is dope.
Round, round, get around, get around.
Yo, that would actually be really cool. But fuck the Beach Boys.
Emo
too.
and Andy are way hotter than the normal dudes. Okay. All right.
Thank you. Yes. Well, we knew that. Whoever said that.
It's like, why do you think they're here?
Who's Spammer?
Classing up the joint.
Do you got a video changer, or are you just changing it on your stream for your cameras? Like, do you actually have a board for your video changers, Andy?
No, they're just both.
I love that. I want to do that because I always I feel like for the bits, if we could be like, and now to you, and like have the same thing.
Right.
You're welcome.
It would be good. All right, there was
All
our
right, let's go.
pause. So we're gonna go, and we'll see you guys Thursday.
Have a good
Thank you
show.
to Email
When
and
do you-
Andy.
When do you guys decide to end the show? Well, usually we just have this moment. Nobody says anything, and like it just hits you like Taco Bell at 4 a.m. You're like, oh shit, we gotta
I'm
go.
done.
Time to go.
Gotta
had
run.
that
Gotta
I
run.
had that happen to me just 2 nights ago, actually. I know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
man.
Wait,
Taco
you
Bell.
weren't with us in Deer Creek when we got Taco Bell, Andy.
No, I didn't see I didn't experience the massive.
The massive order of tacos.
Right. How many was it again?
48 for 3 of us, I think, or 4 of us. It was a small crew. We got a dozen, like a box each, basically. And we didn't eat them all. It's way too many.
It
The
didn't.
worst part being that there was only one bathroom in the B&B.
Oh man.
You weren't even there.
Over
Ken.
Taco Bell
Right.
for every show, and one night the driver ate it. Like it came, stopped at the hotel, didn't come inside, and left with it. And then it was like 4 a.m, so they were already closed, and we were like starving and salivating, waiting for this Taco Bell. We had like not eaten lunch. We didn't eat anything on the lot. We had like gotten food early in the morning and then not really eaten it while we were getting ready, and we were like, screw it, we're like in our refrigerator heating up like French fries and chicken fingers from like the day before. It's like
Somebody hit the vending machine.
I brought some like frozen meals with me, you know, because I'm a tool, and remember I stayed at this hotel that had just horrible water pressure. So in addition to the horrible water pressure, they only had a fridge. There was no freezer. So I brought all this frozen food that I couldn't keep frozen.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was god awful. God awful. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Tune in tomorrow. We got a very special episode. It's going to be dope.
Bye, everybody.